welcome to the chat on Newsday Amarillo and News Channel 10-2. I'm David Lovejoy.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Rhonda Lohnert.
And I'm still Chuckalicious, Chuck Williams.
And joining us once again is Arthur Thomas Fellows. He's got a new book out, and it talks about a very timely issue right now, dealing with rejection and feeling alone in the world. I think we have, even though we have more connection through these digital ties, I think more and more people are feeling alone, feeling rejected outside. Thomas writes some great books, and he's got a new one now called Alone at the Lunch Table, How to Rise from Rejection. Now, Thomas, you wouldn't think, you think most of us have an attitude of, if they reject me, I don't care. I'm going on about my business. But it depends on where you're at in your life and what is happening in your life. Rejection can be devastating, can't it?
Well, it can, but it can really help in the long run. So there's really three quotes which make up this book. And one is by David Brooks in The Road to Character. And David Brooks is a mentor of mine. And he talks about how some of the most successful people are successful because over and over again, they heard, you can't do this, you can't do that. And as a result, they got a chip on their shoulder. And Malcolm Gladwell and David and Goliath talks about, basically being an underdog gives you the ability to try things and to take risks that normal people wouldn't take. And then Napoleon Hill, who of course is one of the most popular self-help authors of all time, said the most successful people are successful because they refuse to listen to family and friends that have said they can't do this or that.
Now, when you talk about when somebody tells you you can't do that, that removes all the obstacles to do it, does it not?
Yes, it really does. In my own life, I've been an underdog, certainly. I had multiple family members say I couldn't write a book. Now I've written 10. All 10 could be New York Times bestsellers. I've had a family member say I can't get a PhD in English. Now I'm working on the largest scale education reform since Thomas Jefferson instituted public schooling. And I had another family member say I couldn't get an MBA in business. And just recently I made, $100K working 6 hours a week. So having that rejection and having that pushback really gives you a shot of adrenaline to achieve what you really want to achieve in life.
Well, there are those people, you tell them they can't do something, and then it's on. It's going to be done. There are, however, those people that they really start to buy into what they're being told. You obviously didn't do that. You went the other direction. But these people that are constantly being told they can't, sometimes they really start to believe it. So talk to us about how this book, Alone at the Lunch Table, could help someone gain the courage to do what it is that they think they should be able to do.
Well, if you look at some of the most successful Americans, Martin Luther King Jr., if you look at Abraham Lincoln, Alexander Hamilton, Frederick Douglass, and George Marshall, they were all underdogs. They were all underdogs, and it really gives you, just the motivation to achieve what you're going to achieve. And I've had, for me, when I walked across the graduation stage at graduation in high school, I got laughed at. I'm not even kidding. And I still remember that. Even my dad, when I was graduating from a school in Atlanta called Westminster, he insinuated that I couldn't make it in Atlanta. Now I've been on TV more than any American in the last 34 months. I'm also ghostwriting a book now and getting paid $450 an hour. So I honestly have reached back out to that person who said I couldn't write a book, and I said thank you, because I couldn't have done it without you. And obviously they were just sort of stunned and silent when I did that. But even if you look at sports. You look at Tom Brady. You look at Michael Jordan, who was cut from his 9th grade team. You look at Steph Curry, who didn't even get a walk-on spot at Virginia Tech. He played at Davidson, and now he has gone on to be the best shooter of all time. I guarantee you the reason why they've been so successful is because people have told them they couldn't do this or that.
And that's part of the unique philosophy of this book is embracing the rejection. You're telling your reader, listen, that can be your fuel. Don't run from it. Don't hide from it. Embrace it. Deal with it, but use it as a motivational tool, right?
Exactly. I had a history teacher say, when you think you're something, you're nothing. Abraham Lincoln, if you read a book by Doris Kearns Goodwin, talks about trying to get better and never arrived. Now, I look at the students who are all-stars in high school and college, and by the way, I was a horrible student in both high school and in college. And, but you've got to, have that underdog mentality, but doing so taught me how to sell, get my teachers to pass me. Literally in calculus, I got my teacher to take my test for me. And I did. I had a 2.4 in college, but my transcript read 3.14 because I convinced my teachers. My ex-girlfriend one time said, "Hey, how did you get a B in this class? I did better than you." But you've got to think outside the box. And I have a mentor named Bill McDermott, who's the CEO of ServiceNow. He was the former CEO of SAP. He made $165 million 3 years ago and came from the lower middle class. He's the definition of American dream. And when he first got his job at Xerox, what happened was, they weren't letting people see the hiring manager, and Bill McDermott realized it was a test to see how badly, somebody wanted the job. So he went to the secretary and said, "Hey, I don't care how long I have to stay. I would love to meet him." And the next thing you know, he gets called in and gets that job at Xerox, becomes the youngest manager in Xerox history, and the rest is history. So, the people that have been patted on the back their entire life rarely succeed. That's why I talked about this last time, why LeBron James and Taylor Swift are so impressive, because they've never really been the underdog. Particularly LeBron James, he was seen as the chosen one, and he is absolutely has lived up to expectations.
Thomas, where can they find your new book?
Amazon and also on Barnes & Noble. I appreciate it.
Anytime. It's a great book. How to use that rejection as a fuel. How it can change your life. Check it out. Thomas Fellows joins us every once in a while when he's got a great new book. Check out this young, exciting author and help build a path to success. We got to get out of here. You know the 2 rules. Be kind, be careful. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning right here on The Chat.